There were a lot of black educated men, outstanding black educated men from Mississippi. Did they come from a particular area? Do you know that?
We haven't done the research to confirm what college they came from, but I do know that you are correct. A.M. Strange, Mr. A.M. Strange, who found O.W. Dillon, and Mr. O.W. Dillon, he was the first principal. But Mr. Strange found several schools in Mississippi, including a college.
Yes.
And the Rosenwald School was found under him as well in Jefferson Davis County in Mississippi. I do know of a man named John Dawson who found a school for blacks in West Feliciana Parish, that is. And speaking about the school in Ponchatoula, and all, like you're right, all these men was African. All the schools was founded by African American men. So that's something I do want to research. I know that Leland College. Have you heard of Leland College?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One of my sister-in-laws went to Leland College. Of course, she's died since then. I'm not sure that Laura went. Yeah, but I do indeed know about Leland College.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, at one point, that was the only black college, I believe, in the state early on. Yes, I do recall a lot of talk about Leland. As a matter of fact, Leland was functionable as a board for me. I recall Leland being functionable then.
Dr. Garrison, what could you tell me about the normal schools? I hear that word a lot, normal schools.
The normal school was a teacher preparatory school, and Dillon was supposed to have been one. As a matter of fact, it was at one time. But then they were to put up a college there, and instead of the normal school just for training, they were to put up a college there, and they had an option of putting that college at Kentwood or at Grambling. And for some reason I don't understand, they put it at the Grambling location rather than at the Kentwood location. And I need to say quite a few of the people that taught at that normal school at Dillon later on went to Southern University as teachers. And I wish I could name some of their names now, but I can't. But several of them left Dillon and went to Southern University as teachers.
Thank you for sharing that, because I know I hear often people talk about Leland College and they feel that we are not really doing enough to talk about the history of Leland College and how it served the black community.
Yes, quite a few of our teachers went to Leland, and we may need to look into it because that history is not that very old, and we should be able to find quite a bit about Leland College. As a matter of fact, I believe the AME Church may have embraced Leland at one time, but I'm not sure of that. I believe they may have had something to do with that Leland College campus at one time.
I do find that a lot of the AME churches, in connection with color schools, starting the color schools, the AME church was instrumental.
Of course, yeah. And for instance, you talk about Tasker. At one time, Tasker's church was the institution where people in that area would go and get their education until they built the Ponchatoula Colored School. And I understand in other places the AME Church started a lot of the schools. And you know what, Miss Antoinette, it make me wonder now if there's association between those black men who came from Mississippi to organize this school and the AME Church, because the churches were organized in those AME churches.
Well,
The schools were organizing those AME churches quite a few times. As a matter of fact, I don't recall any of them that were not from my standpoint right now.
it's good. Well, I want to let you know that Charles Daggs and Reverend Charles Daggs and Reverend Arthur Tasker, they knew each other. They attend some of the same meetings together.
Yeah.
And Charles Daggs came from New Orleans.
Yes.
The St. James AME Church did. The St. James Historic AME Church now. So at that time and period, black men had very strong leadership
Yes.
in education.
Yes.
And so we have to show that again, because as we look at it now, show that women are the leaders in education. So we have to go back and study the history to show the foundation that black men was very much involved in education.
Yes, absolutely.
And starting businesses,
Yes.
owning land,
Yes, that's true.
and the leaders
Yes.
of not only the head of their households, but the leaders of their communities as well.
Absolutely, yes. And when I look back at that, during my childhood, the men were over the institutions. The only person that I can remember who took that kind of leadership was Miss Mary Smith, and she was not over the church, she was just over the Sunday school. But when I look back at my childhood, she was the only one. But the men were the pushers. But Miss Antoinette, I know you say that I'm always interjecting the Bible in it, but if we leave the Lord out of our progress, and we really need to make him an integral part of that and tell that story, the men were over those things, and they kind of had the ladies to help them out over their families, over the schools, over the businesses, as it were, that they had. The men were strong at that. And I think what happened is the white men did not want the black men to take that leadership role. And like I said, I'm always using the Bible as an example. But don't you remember during Moses' time they killed the black children, not the black children, but the children that was going to lead, the Jewish children that was going to lead the community. They didn't want them to live. And I think that same kind of mentality is in these people today, or it was. And again, we can't say everybody, but it's still that 33%. That 33% speaks for everybody.
And it has the control over.
Yes, because the rest of them won't say anything. They sit in silence. And it's not everybody. I realize that. The majority of the people are good people. Right. But they are quiet. They won't say anything, and they won't say, no, I don't agree with that.
Well, Dr. Garrison, we want to thank you for sharing your experience and your knowledge, and certainly we are happy to be recording through oral history your experience in this parish, and it helps us to understand our community, our parish, and our parish can't be a great parish without the history of everyone.
Cannot.
Right. In order to do that, all histories from every ethnicity that make up this parish is equally important to everyone else.
Negative or positive, it has to be told.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Nurturing Our Roots Oral History Project. Thank you.